Hello again, everyone. This is Gray, and I hope my first video didn't make you swear off my channel. A lot of people have asked me how I got to this point of how I knew that I was a transsexual. And the way it happened was a dream. I had had a dream where I was a recently operated transsexual. And I could feel the soreness and the achiness, and I felt tired, but I felt so at peace with myself. And in this strange dream, I seemed to have been married. I never did see my spouse, but I had this little father-in-law who came. He would call me princess, and he seemed so concerned about me, and it was so great. I felt so much support in this dream, and I had these little stepchildren, and they were like, "Mommy, Mommy, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, sweetie, I'm okay." And this dream was just pure bliss. I'd never felt so tranquil and serene in the whole of my life. I felt almost euphoric. And it was such a beautiful dream, and it was great. And then at one point in the dream, I'm walking along, and there was this little divide, and I had to jump across it. And it seemed a little large to me. And someone said, "Well, go ahead and jump." And this is where things take a turn. I said, "No, I can't, because I'm pregnant." And I know it's kind of funny, because I'll never be pregnant. I'll never know what that's like. But the strangest thing is that because this dream was so vivid and so real, I felt everything so intimately. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And when I said that in the dream, I woke right up. Because when I said it, I could feel, like an expectant mother, what it felt like to be concerned about the life that's within you, to feel that energy of something special within you. And it messed me up. I woke up and I was in shock, and I was shaking so bad that I could barely get out of bed, and I literally couldn't stand, so I had to crawl to the bathroom, splash water on my face. The rest of the dream had been great, and I had never thought about being a transsexual before. None of it had ever occurred to me. But in the dream, I realized that I thought and felt like a woman, and I said, "That's not possible. I'm a man. There's no way that a man can think and feel the intimacies of what it is to be a woman." And it was just a horrible shock to me. And I just kept shaking, and I couldn't stop. It was like I felt like I had hypothermia. The shaking was so bad that, I couldn't even speak clearly. And I said, "I've got to get over this. I really do." It's like it was just a dream. It means nothing. Well, my shock was kind of deep, and my denial was even deeper. I hadn't realized that at that point I started shaving my legs and underarms. And I wasn't even really completely consciously aware of it. That I started doing it from that point on. I couldn't bear being in a male role, even though my mind was saying, "You're a man, you like women, this isn't possible, what's wrong with you?" So I was the worst devil's advocate for myself, possibly. No one around me was able to be as hard on me as I was. And that's the problem. For 8 months, I fought with myself, questioned myself, put myself down, berated myself, ridiculed myself, saying, "It can't be. You can't be a lesbian transsexual." I come to find out that there's quite a few of us out there. But on May 17th of 2010, I finally admitted to myself, and I also that day admitted to everybody else, what I was. And strangely enough, even though I got some questions and "Are you sure?" and "What does that mean?" no one was really negative about it. And I haven't encountered any discrimination, which is amazing, because I would have thought that I would have encountered quite a bit. I don't exactly live in a very progressive area, or at least I didn't think I did. But it seems like everybody's been really cool with it, for lack of a better term. I really haven't encountered any discrimination. Yes, I've gotten looks, but people seem to be pretty polite about it. And the people I've interacted with have all treated me with respect. and in many cases love. They've treated me great. They've treated me better than I was ever treated as a man. And in fact, sometimes it feels like I have preferential treatment. And don't get me wrong, I love it. It's great. You know, I'd much rather have that than the discrimination. But I'm still kind of like, this has to be a dream. Because everything's been going so good for me and people have been so sweet and kind to me. And I've made more friends than I ever had before. And I've become more extroverted. Because as soon as I was able to admit to myself, it's like a puzzle piece fell into place and my whole life made sense. And a weight was lifted from my shoulders. I used to be very nervous and anxious and not really comfortable in my own skin. And now, even though there's added pressures, because I do worry about people trying to hurt me without even getting to know me, because I see it and hear it in the news, I still feel freer than I've ever felt before. I still feel more in touch with who I am than I ever did before. And it's great. I wish everybody could feel this good about themselves. And I know I'm not attractive, but I feel pretty. I feel good about myself. I love me for the first time in my life. And that's a little hard for me to say because yes, I realized I wasn't too fond of myself. And I did some very terrible things because of how I felt about myself. And I used to be depressed, and now I can't seem to be depressed because I'm like, well, nothing could be bad anymore because I know who I am and I feel good about me and life's beautiful. Well, I wanted to share this with people because it was an epiphany that I had in my life that brought me to where I am now, and I can't explain how good it feels to be free of censoring myself. Because as a man, I said, okay, that's what a man would do. I act this way, I walk this way, I talk this way. And I thought, I'm never gonna be very good at this whole woman thing because what do I know about being a woman? I've been a man for 41 years. You have no idea what it is to be a woman. And you've seen the shows about the transsexuals who have to go to classes and learn how to walk and learn how to pitch their voice and learn how to put on their makeup and everything. And guess what, people? I never would have believed it, but I haven't had to do any of that. And my friends say how natural I am because I stopped censoring myself and said, you know what, I don't want to be a parody of a woman, so I'm not going to try to be feminine. I'm just, because just because you're a woman doesn't mean you have to fit into some kind of box or stereotype of what a woman is supposed to be. I rail against that because women are individuals and they can be anything and everyone they want to be. And this whole thing of like masculine, because a woman might have short hair or she might dress a certain way, I don't believe in that. And I think that is BS. I'm trying not to use real bad words here just in case. I think it's BS because you are a woman no matter how you dress or how you act. And they just put that label of masculine because supposedly that's what men are supposed to act like. And I don't really believe in that. I believe you're a human being who happens to be female. You can dress how you choose to, how you're most comfortable with, how you feel. It makes you no more or less of a woman. And like I said, I didn't want to be a parody of a woman. But I found that once I stopped censoring myself, I was actually a lot more feminine than I ever thought I was. Eyes up here. I was a lot more feminine than I thought I was. And I said to myself, I'm not going to question who I am as a woman. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to do what I like, dress how I like, act how I like. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to pretend. In fact, that's the last thing I want to do because I think that that's an insult to being a woman. And I'm very proud of being a woman. I don't want this to be a joke. And like I said, most of my friends have said that I'm very natural, which is makes me kind of laugh because it's almost like a pun. But it feels good because the people I have met since my transition have been very kind and very loving to me and very respectful. And it's all been very sweet. And I wish that every person in the LGBT, lesbian, gay, bi, or transsexual community could have had the experience that I have had with this whole drama. Because so many of my friends in the community have had such horrible experiences and have been shunned by their families or treated poorly or insulted just walking down the street or beaten or hurt. And there's no reason for it, people. There's no reason for it. We're all human beings, and this is something that you're going to be seeing more and more. It's not an aberration. It's just that now people are more aware of themselves. They understand gender better. They understand personal interaction better. They're more comfortable with saying and doing and being who they are. And that's just what I want to convey. Be yourself. I know that sometimes we feel insecure about ourselves, but be yourself. And someone's always going to love you for it. The more honest you are about who you are and what you are, the more people are going to see that. And the right people, the people who have good hearts, they're going to love you for it. And they're going to see you and they're going to be happy to know you. Because you're going to be a bright spot in their lives. Because they're not going to see any lies with you, any artifice. They're not going to doubt you. They're not going to feel uncomfortable around you. Because you're being true to yourself. I'd like to thank you for watching this. And I hope that you got something from this.